Hello and welcome to episode number 13 of Blueprint, our video blog and podcast for responsible manufacturing. My name is Björn. I'm the head of sustainability at AOS and host of the show. At AOS, we believe that innovation and technology can help create a better world for everyone. And that's why we want to accelerate the transition towards responsible manufacturing with industrial 3D printing solutions. We're here today at the Sustainable Manufacturing Expo in Anaheim, California, and this gives us the opportunity to meet the wonderful Rosa Coblens from Stratasys. Stratasys is one of the founding companies of the whole technology of 3D printing, just as AOS, more than 35 years ago. And they're also a founding member of the Additive Manufacturer Green Trade Association. And I'm continuously impressed by their dedication and commitment to foster sustainability practices. In this episode today, you will hear how Stratasys sees the sustainability of 3D printing, what their mindful manufacturing framework means and what they have achieved so far. We will talk about challenges, but also about the collaboration in the industry to drive sustainability forward. And with that, I would like to welcome Rosa. Rosa, thank you very much for joining us. It is a pleasure to have you here. Before we start into the questions, into the interview, may I ask you to shortly introduce yourself and your role at Stratasys?
Thanks for having me on your blog. I'm really excited about this opportunity. I'm Rosa Coblens, VP Sustainability and Communications. I've been with Stratasys for 10 years, established the communications infrastructure, and naturally shifted into establishing around 4 years ago the sustainability function and practices across the company, and proud to share today.
Thank you for being here, and you call this mindful manufacturing. Can you tell us a little bit more about this term? What does it mean and how have you integrated that in your business practices?
Mindful manufacturing is essentially a call to action. It basically says to the customers, the employees, the ecosystem, let's take a step back and think before we produce. Be mindful of what we are manufacturing. So the idea is to rethink together products, processes, parts, and to design the production in a way that's good for people and the planet.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. And at Stratasys, how do you define and measure sustainability in terms of 3D printing?
I'm really glad that you asked that, because I always repeat that sustainability is a science. It's not a concept or an idea or something that we inherently know about our technology. It really is about measuring, bringing the evidence for what we believe sustainability means in the production process, and to make the case with the research.
Mm-hmm. And I know that Stratasys also works on ESG, on a broader ESG concept as well. Can you share a little bit what are your ESG goals, maybe, and also what's the progress? Where are you in this area?
It's really nice to be interviewed by like-minded friends and colleagues, because ESG is the umbrella for what we do. Sustainability is a more commonplace term, but it doesn't include all of the fundamentals of sustainable operations, which is environment, social, and governance. And for Stratasys, as a public company, we started with the governance, putting the policies, procedures, KPIs in place so that we could be certified as a sustainable business and operation that our larger companies would want to work with.
Mm-hmm. And so you have totally integrated it into your operations or into your DNA, let's say. Does that also help to avoid greenwashing in this area?
We don't believe in greenwashing because of the approach that's evidence-based at Stratasys. We really want to bring the data, the figures, the disclosures. We have our third sustainability and ESG report out recently. We will share our EcoVadis silver badge soon. And so the stamp of approval are there. And that means that the business is operated in a sustainable fashion. And that's where we started our activity, is to make sure that the framework was in place before we introduced the product roadmap.
So congratulations on your silver badge then. That's an achievement, definitely. Yeah. So coming back from ESG to the E of ESG, the environment, can you share a little bit what are the most notable achievements so far? Can you share maybe some customer projects or results that you have achieved?
Once we got what I call our corporate in order with all of the certifications, supplier assurance, then we moved to implementing our roadmap. Some notable product launches recently have been in our software, where we revealed our carbon estimator, which allows our customers basically to make decisions around their build before they actually print, including the energy mix and other carbon factors. This is something that we're now developing, as we know that customers need these decision-making tools, and also that they use this for optimizing their operations. So they're working on sustainability and profitability as well. And this gives them a tool to do that. Another product launch recently is the Relife solution, which takes the waste powder and essentially turns it into feedstock to produce new parts on site. The magic word here is on site. So no transportation, no waste stream, and for the new parts, no supply chain. This is fully sustainable for the operations, and you can just imagine how profitable it is for the businesses that use it.
Yeah, so you mentioned materials, you mentioned waste, also energy consumption. If you look at it in total, what is the status quo? Where are you with that? And are there any measures or any ideas how to improve even further?
The idea is to implement the concepts of DFE and DFAM, design for environment and design for additive manufacturing, which really means to, again, with the principles of mindful manufacturing, to design for reduced waste at the source. So not to deal with the output now and to find solutions that often, require energy and transportation, but to really at the source leverage what additive manufacturing has to offer in terms of lightweighting projects, parts, and complex geometries, the whole gamut of the value that our technology brings that traditional manufacturing may not.
That sounds really good, but from your experiences, are there any challenges making 3D printing more sustainable?
For me, I see the big challenge as the shift in mindset that's required. Many, as consumers, customers alike, and employees, believe in the conception that plastic is bad and that recycling is the solution for everything sustainable. This does not prove to be the case in the evidence, in the research, and we need to unlock the carbon from the full product life cycle, many times at the top end of the process.
So yes, that's interesting, and that's true. The question is, there's always some waste at the end. So what about the concept of circularity? How do you deal with that? Have you thought about that? Anything about closed loop or a reuse of materials, for example?
For us, we're looking right now in terms of R&D and circularity around packaging and lots of single-use plastic in our cartridges and in our canisters that we would like to address. This will tackle the customer waste stream in a way that they can't do on site. And at the same time, we launched a project called Certified Pre-Owned, where we refurbish printers so that new users and customers can have the option to reuse the printers instead of them becoming end of life.
Okay, talking about the customers, from your perspective, how do they perceive 3D printing and sustainability? Does it help them? Is there a demand for sustainable solutions, maybe even a growing demand? How do you see that?
Our customers come from aerospace, automotive, defense, consumer, medical domains. Many of them are further ahead on their sustainability journey than we are. We like to learn from the customers. Often they know more, and they certainly know much more about their own circularity needs on the factory floor in their companies. This is the new challenge, to tackle their sustainability needs and solutions on site, and to do it hand in hand.
You mentioned a couple industries. So do you see also there's a specific demand from certain industries? And can you share, and if yes, can you share examples or case studies?
Yeah, there's a global shift now to onshoring, reshoring, dealing with the supply chains. So it's not a trend that additive manufacturing created, but it's one that we can for sure address. I think that these are the unique opportunities ahead. These are synonyms for sustainability because they optimize the business, they bring profitability, but it happens because of the local production, the on-demand production, the personalization that we offer in our production solutions.
And one example for the personalization probably is the fashion industry, right? And I think you've done an LCA also with a customer. Can you share a bit about that?
Yes, we did an LCA commissioned by the AMGTA that Reeves Insight actually did the research for us together with Deloitte and the Pattern Group. Basically, the idea is that the fashion industry is inherently known for oversupply, for overproduction, and for waste. And we know that our solution allows them to upcycle textiles that would have gone to the landfill, and that the entire production process and supply chain is much more advanced than other traditional manufacturing techniques in terms of sustainability. So we measured it, we published it, and now we know this to be true, that additive manufacturing brings great value to this specific industry.
Yeah, that's interesting. And we know from own experience that LCAs is a good tool, a good way to really go into the numbers and to see what it is. So that sounds like a lot of people have been involved in there. So a real team effort, which brings me to my next question about collaboration. So how do you see the role of collaboration in this industry, and how do you see the role of, for example, AMGTA to bring industry together here to work on a more sustainable future?
First of all, it takes a village. It sounds cliche, but it's true. I don't do sustainability at Stratasys. The employees do, the leaders do, even the board of directors. It's something built into the DNA of the company. And I'm sitting here with you. I believe in what I call co-opetition. We're competitors. But sustainability is such a strong, compelling positioning for our industry, and such a need for the customers that we serve, that we must cross this chasm together. It's not meaningful for any company to do this alone.
And if you look ahead 5 to 10 years, where do you see the biggest opportunities to make a meaningful impact in terms of sustainability for the AM industry?
If we can address the shift in mindset that needs to take place and find these and unlock the power of the use cases that bring sustainability and profitability, and they're nearly endless, and we shouldn't be doing any use cases that don't sit on both of them, then business will benefit and our companies will benefit. And AM has an inherent value in assisting and supporting our customers in their ESG and decarbonization goals, from net zero, whatever it may be. It will be tailored with our strategic customers.
We're here at the Sustainable Manufacturing Expo. It's not the Sustainable 3D Printing Expo, but Sustainable Manufacturing Expo. So what do you think, what role could AM play to support the wider manufacturing industry to become more sustainable?
I'm so glad that you said that, because I think that it's an inflection point. For many, many years, at least the decade that I've been working at Stratasys, we talked within the industry about the power of our industry. We are now in a big blue ocean of all the manufacturers, and we're starting to share the message with the engineers and the C-suite leaders of tomorrow of the value that we bring to their manufacturing needs. So I think this is a moment we'll remember.
Mm-hmm. What do you see the biggest maybe hurdles in this way, or challenges that need to be addressed to make that a reality?
Setting the standards for the data that needs to be collected so that it's comparable, and we can bring a large, broad strokes of insights about our technology for customers and businesses worldwide. Right now, it's each company and their ability and interest and investment in the research with their customers. It needs to happen at a much larger scale.
Mm-hmm. And at Stratasys, I mean, how do you balance the need for technical advancements with the demand for more sustainable solutions? Or is it even not needed anymore to balance that out?
Thankfully, with the strong support from Yoav Zeif, the CEO, and the management, it happens quite naturally. It has become part of our DNA. You know, we have a composter in our headquarters, and everyone separates their own trash and waste from their meals and, you know, everything else. There's no more single-use plastic in the office. I think it impacts, you know, how we design products as well, because we start to shift how we look at how the world operates. Many employees have even asked to have, you know, these special trash cans and waste streams in their own homes. So I think there's a shift happening and a deeper understanding of what it actually means for our planet tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So, and given your experience and expertise in this field, what would you, or how would you consult a company who wants to adopt more sustainable practices for their own operations, own manufacturing operations, or maybe their own design processes? What would you tell them what to do?
It's a profession today. So I would tell them, take the toolbox, learn what we call a TLA, three-letter acronyms, you know, the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and define them for your business. Use the ESG principles. It's a whole entire area that you can use to develop your business. Conduct materiality assessments. Learn, instead of just practicing what you think might be right for your business, use the tools to actually measure what your customers and ecosystem would want you to do for a more sustainable business. And the bottom line is it's a journey, not a destination. So take the incremental steps to get there instead of trying to boil the ocean. It's very overwhelming, and these small steps make a very big impact.
Mm-hmm. And last question. What would be, if you had one wish, what would be your wish for this industry in terms of sustainability to achieve?
That it will be this big business enabler for all of our companies, that it will not be a hurdle for us moving into manufacturing, but an enabler. I see how it works today, that it enables us and assists us in selling to the C-suite and, you know, making a case for the real value of additive manufacturing in manufacturing. So let's go there together.
Thank you, Rosa, for your time, for sharing your expertise and ideas with us. It was a real pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
For me too. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. If you have comments, please leave them with us, and we're making sure to look at them. And as always, stay responsible.